enough for this game. Like, they have, and yeah, yes, we just killed him with a fish. That seems to be an ongoing theme here in this game.
Behold, the element of surprise.
Yeah, I think it's more of a surprise to Roz that that rocket decided to take off. Wah, wah. Oh, God.
Shadows.
I will find the flower first. You can barely use that thing.
No, wait!
Having Talia say... And there it is. Stupid goat.
And that goat's gonna pick it up for us. Thanks, buddy.
I'm sure he was really trying to be helpful.
Useless ungulate!
Fuck.
Well, this is a totally normal way to climb a mountain.
Let's get this over with.
Hold on.
Just a quiet little ejector seat here. Roz
You
probably.
have come far. The final test is almost at hand. Lesson 2. Always mind your surroundings. Enough.
My life is great. I don't want anything to change, ever.
Oh. Ra's al Ghul?
My name is Ra's al Ghul.
Of course he has to walk around without a shirt.
I have a particular set of skills.
Oh,
skills
fuck.
that make me a nightmare.
But we both need a flower to access the temple. There won't be another for miles.
Rare blue flowers are us. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, that's hilarious. I would have made Talia pay. Screw that.
Maybe you should try aiming at the rubble. Just a thought.
Making use of these higher perches will allow you to ambush foes from above.
That's cool. Quick takedown from above.
Lesson 2. Always mind your surroundings.
Nope, there goes a tree. Oh, God. How did we know a yak was going to be a part of that? Got your nose.
I don't think we're getting through that door.
Quick cover. Reversal. Oh my God, the retro ball's got on a roll up. Ontario just couldn't get out of that cover. Super kick!
Let go! Let go!
Third!
Let go!
Super kick party! Yeah, pay him the money for that.
They seem to be really good at the
There we go! Let's go! Let's go! No doubt! Over the foul pole! Let's go! I'm getting notes here and notes there and notes. Stimulation is the key word here. Lots of stimulation. Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday edition of the AEW Dynamite Sidecast. If you're watching this on YouTube, now it shows the AEW Dynamite Sidecast on the logo. Great to have everybody here today. Great to see everybody. It's been a it's been an interesting week. We had a lot of games come up in terms of previews in the PlayStation Showcase, the Indie Showcase. We got a lot of fun stuff to be talking about going up here in the future, but more so than anything else, thank you for being here. Always appreciate you. And I didn't know this as I was getting the stream ready, but tonight's Fyter Fest. This is officially Fyter Fest for AEW, so I'm guessing that well, the one thing they are doing for Fyter Fest more than anything else is they have the special Rebel shirts, Rebel Hart and the bracelets combination package with money going towards ALS this week. So if you haven't heard, Rebel, who was running with Britt Baker during her initial run here in AEW, has been diagnosed with ALS, and unfortunately there is no cure for it. So Tony Khan wants to do his part to help out. Basically, this company that they're working with works with ALS. It's ALS. People who have ALS, they're helping other people with ALS deal with ALS. Is the group that Tony's using when he pick up those shirts. So I'm thinking about it. I'm serious thinking about it. But when it comes to tariffs and all that stuff, the cost just goes through the roof here. But we got, you know what? On top of the diagnosis about everything, there is a lot of great wrestling coming up here tonight. We got Jet Speed imploding for the TNT Championship. We have Mike Bailey taking on Kevin Knight. I got a feeling Kevin wins tonight by some dirty tactics just to solidify him as that evil champion. The only question I have about that is we do have what we consider a lot of evil champions right now. Just trying to balance them off a little bit here. Like you got MJF, you got Tekla. Let's run through all of them. Now that I think about it, we might actually have more faces. We got MJF, Tekla. We got the Conglomeration. We got FTR. We got Takeshita, who's now over on this side. We got Kevin Knight. Make that 3-3. What am I blanking on here? Oh, the TBS, that nobody has it, so that's even right now. Continental Moxley, which frankly Moxley's in the middle here too, so essentially, yes, I guess it is essentially even, but I wouldn't mind flipping it anyway just to see if we can move Kevin Knight up in terms of going for a different championship. He honestly could be in there with Takeshita after Fletcher's done with him. But we're also getting MJF versus Roosh for the world title. We're also getting the wild card with Alex Windsor tonight.
Roosh, this is arguably the biggest match of your career. Your very first shot at the AEW World Championship. Roosh versus MJF. How are you feeling ahead of this match?
How I feel? Let me tell them how I feel. After beating the entire roster, after winning my matches in less than a minute, after waiting for more than 3 years, finally, I got my shot for the AEW World Title.
I'd love to see him win it tonight just to throw the whole world into a pissy. And then MJF starts getting the reputation of not being able to keep the title. Are they going to get this match canceled due to assault? So are we doing no DQ main event now or what? I'd assume that's probably what we're going to end up with here. We're in Richmond, Virginia. Could this be Mickie James? We could totally use Mickie James here as the wild card against Alex Windsor. No countouts. All right. So MJF cannot run. But there is DQ. So we do get a peanut butter parfait possibly out of this, but all right, I got a feeling that's probably going to be at the top of the hour because that is going to be a little buzzworthy. I really wonder who it really could be. Like, Ospreay Davis is our main. We have a world title match and Ospreay Davis is our main. Oh, I guess we're doing opening with the world title. Okay. I love this. I love this. He never got a chance to say it. Goddamn, I feel bad for the people that are showing up late tonight. Let's go. World title match right off the docket here, folks. That's a weird way to talk about it. Normally, you would say it has a 1 hour time limit. It's for the World Championship and there will be no countouts, but I can see how he gets the inflection on the back end. Let's go for it right now. I'm surprised Andrade isn't the one that wants to insist on being the first man to win the AEW World Title from Mexico. But I think it's more about the care about the title more than worry about the people involved. Like, we're going to care about bringing it back to Mexico. Then we can fight for whoever's better for it, right? But yeah, if you haven't heard earlier, they did announce that Grand Slam is returning to Mexico this August. So after Forbidden Door, they're back in town for a week and a half. Or no, after Redemption, sorry. They're back in town for a week and a half, and then they head over to Mexico. It's actually going to be a Dynamite. Oh my fucking God. I wish he would have left the Mickey Mouse hat on. Folks, we have somebody in attendance there tonight, so shout out to Nats fan who is there, and I appreciate the lurk. We'll have to chat about it on Saturday when we see you here. I'm glad he didn't show up late to the show, so Oh, this is going to be a blast. Blanco Rouge. I love how they got the graphic of LFI and just, we haven't seen LFI as a group in a long time. It's mainly due to visa issues right now because Mystico and the Beast Morto still are not eligible to come into the States to work. So apparently, oh God, MJF and his intros. Oh God. I love how Justin literally just deadpans any kind of comment that MJF wants in that case. Just a literal no. You're going to make me say this, so again, I'm going to make it say as dull and as boring as humanly possible. Remsburg always seems to be out there for MJF title matches. But absolutely tonight, like this is going to be an absolute blast of a show. You know when Davis and Ospreay are going to be main eventing, you know they're going to be doing something special in that matchup. We're probably going to have a whole ton of chaos in it. Yeah, I'm not worried about that far ahead, Bray. Good to see you here tonight. And the fact that we're getting a world title match to start the show off. But yeah, if you didn't hear, NXT announced that they're running their Great American Bash PLE the exact same time as AEW's running Forbidden Door.
What the hell is that?
If you honestly do not want viewers, just say so. That's basically what it comes up to me here. Because I know we'll be here watching Forbidden Door because, well, as much as we go through everything else in wrestling these days, AEW pay-per-views are must-watch. Like, there's no skipping around here. Like, when there's something else on, like, AEW pay-per-views are the thing to watch. Like, don't get me wrong, AAA hit probably one of the best matches they've ever had in their promotion this past Saturday with the Mask versus Mask. The pre-show starts at 7, Bray, so it is the exact same time. We all know that the pre-show has 4 great matches on it, so yeah, let's call a spade a spade. The pay-per-view will start at 5, or start at 7 Eastern, sorry. Like, the actual pay-per-view will start at 8 formally, but you know TK is going to stack the front of that card on the pre-show. Well, Roosh just ate that. Yeah, I know. Ray, you sound like a reporter here. Jeez. We're actually going to see Strauss in action here tonight, taking on Game Time Art during Backbreaker Pro Wrestling Evolution. If you want to stop by after AEW Dynamite tonight, we got a pretty decent card lined up. We're going to have Ophelia Payne and Morgan Cross in our main event. 2 of our biggest stalwarts in BPW. And our opening contest is going to involve all 4 participants in the Fatal 4-Way for the title that's coming up next week. As the Pop Spot Monsters are going to be taking on Hoju and Fanboy Brian. So there's my cheap plugs for BPW out of the way here early. So make sure you guys stick around on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, after the show, make sure you pop over to our Twitch channel as we show it live there. It is recorded over on our Backbreaker Gaming channel after, but the Wildcard, no, they're not gonna announce it. The Wildcard's gonna show up as they come out to the ring. Like the opening wager would be Monet on that, which I think we all expect. Because literally there was nobody that showed up. During practice for the show tonight, Alex Windsor actually worked with Will Ospreay for the match. So is he going to finish it right now? Either that or he's going to get a foot in the dick right now. Oh, he jumped out. I thought I was going to give him a boot in the dick. That's what I would have done. The sphincter buster? I wonder if... And here comes MJF just being the typical BSer that he is. Beautiful story here. Like, there is no countouts in this match, but there are disqualifications. So... It lines up. It lines up that MJF can still do his dirty stuff and find the way to get the cheap heat out. Oh, God. Is he... Oh, my God. He's bleeding already. We got blood. See, MJF's working on a headlock. It should be a headlock takeover and this be over, right? Yep. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that close to the end of the show, but yeah, it's... You know there's going to be some feedback off tonight's card to go to Saturday, so it always makes sense. Beautiful spine buster by MJF. Like, he literally just tattooed right there with that. That was literally just a great spine on the pine right there. Like, realistically, if they are opening the show with this title match, I don't see a title change happening. I don't think anybody really expected one to show up anyway, but... Oh my God, Roosh did the same thing MJF did. And of course, Remsburg is pulling the... So when people start... The fans can start screaming, "We don't know, we don't know." Just firing these shots out here, Roosh. Just say it's a nice to Brady, you just pop into Google and just look for news highlights or what? It seems like you're... I do believe we're going to get a couple more as well, because they do have the double taping the week before All In as well. So And one big thing about AEW Grand Slam Mexico is the fact that it's actually going to be a Wednesday night. It's not going to be a Saturday night for once. They've changed things up this time. So it'll be a 2.5 hour Dynamite again. Gets the report. Well,
Given the choices between Mark Briscoe and between Roosh, it's a tough call, but MJF, for whatever it is,
usually that's my job, damn it. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you letting me know. I know we've been talking on and off about a lot of this stuff here, like oh, nice jackknife cover out of nowhere. But even tonight, the fact that they're going to be working on, like, the jet speed match is going to be intense, going to have to take a lot of time. Surprisingly, I've always tried to figure out what to call that move. The power bomb into backbreaker or power bomb on knee. It's not quite salt of the earth because he doesn't have his body high enough on. Oh, I guarantee it will. We'll have to wait to see what the card's going to be like, but now I don't know if it's actually going to be live or taped. That's the thing. Like next week, are we going to get Wednesday night, Thursday night, or are we going to get Wednesday night, Saturday night? Even though they are, they're recording the show on the Thursday. Like they did that with their last Cincinnati shows, right? What was that spring? The spring one? They did back-to-back in Cincinnati, but they still showed it on Saturday. Yeah, we'll just plain old have to see here, right? Because that's why I don't get too far ahead of myself when we talk about this stuff here. Let them bring out the announcements. It's not like we're in a rush to get anywhere. Straight jacket pile driver on the apron. Now that is something I haven't seen in a while. I love this. They're like minimal interruptions. Followed by an interruption. TK, you cheeky fella. You cheeky fella. Now, as we progress through this, like, we're getting through this, and then I think we're going to have to start working towards, well, what, we got three Dynamites and 4 collisions after tonight to set up for Forbidden Door. So, oh my God. Roosh popped his arm back into place just like Rhea did at SummerSlam. What was it? Against Liv? Like 2 years ago? Lily put his arm against the post and just... I can't make that good sound with that, so... And I don't even know if I have a good pop sound here. There we go. We'll use a punch instead. It works just as well.
Hey, I got a hockey record. I took my skate off and tried to stab somebody. I'm the only guy who ever did that.
It sounds like something you would do, Bray. Try and stab somebody with a hockey skate. Appreciate the blurb. Thank you. Thank you for the posture check. Did Ref call it? Ref called it on a... They were going to call the match due to injury? Bullshit. That would have been such a cheesy ending. Thanks again for the blurb, Bray, and appreciate the posture check. But they're in that... It's going to put him... Oh, no, he's too close to the goddamn ropes. Every other time he pulls the guy away from the ropes, and tonight he decides not to. It's a 2 count. Piss off. Is he going to try and do this again? This should turn into... Oh, I thought he was going to do a... He was trying to do a pedigree. He had his arms wide, so that was a pedigree. That was not a... That was not a pile driver. Oh, God. The ring's in the knee pad. Rings in the knee pad. Good thing there are no seats there. I think everybody's lucky the fact that there are no seats planned there. Well, considering the type of barricade they use, this actually makes a lot of sense. Oh, God. Tombstone on the guardrail. And MJF hurt his knee on that. His knee was already screwed up earlier in the match. I wonder. You know what the other part about this is? The more that Roosh takes out MJF, it is better for the next person coming in, right? Like, for example, like, if Andrade's coming in next, he can use all this damage. He can use all this knowledge that's been coming up throughout this match. He's trying to go for the heat seeker, but he can't get up. MJF's wife, Alicia, too, just celebrated his 31st, or her 31st. So maybe he is having a problem getting it up. Well, I guess for the heat seeker, you really don't have to worry about your standing on your knee. But if you get thrown off, you do. I don't know if there's a feigning of anything right now. Oh, here we go. The lapel lock. Oh my God. Oh no, he's passing out. I thought legit he was going to get out of it, but no, he passed out. Not a bad match. A little bit more than I expected in it, but in terms of the battle that they were having underneath, but didn't want to quit, but eventually your body's going to give out with all the stuff you're putting him through. And MJF does not want any help from Remsburg. It's like, why? He wants to finish off Roosh. Here comes Andrade. Nope, Briscoe. Jay Driller, nope. Ah, good old kick to the balls. Now here comes the entire conglomeration. And MJF does not have anybody to help him. I love how Kyle O'Reilly has his own shirt now to go along with Roddy's. So we're probably going to get Mark Briscoe versus Leo Rush. That's what is scheduled tonight. We're probably going to have that coming up next. Since we have Briscoe already out in the ring. And if you saw the reaction of the conglomeration against Leo Rush last week, like, this is going to be weird. At least we'll get a nice little 15-minute match out of it. But so we had the commercial break here. And once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I know special thanks to Nats for sending over a little pic in my... I'll have to send it over on X later. He's at the show tonight. He's at the venues, so shout out to Nats fan, who's always been a great person over here on the channel, and no wonder I couldn't get the North American connection to work this week. Makes sense now that, you know, Nats is over at AEW, so. But yeah, we got a very interesting show coming up tonight, and then going forward both with AEW and with BPW. Like, I'm starting to get a little bit of a roll here as to where we're booking things, and we're slowly working towards our third PLE, which probably will be coming up at the end of the month here. Got to get the final details on it before we formally announce anything. But yeah, we're having a bunch of fun here. Like, our E-Fed's going just as well as AEW is right now. It's just sizzling. Starting to get some natural rivalries showing up, and I do need to mix up the card a little bit for a couple of people, but I do have some held back for a reason here. So if you guys are wondering what's going on with some of the stuff that we've been doing here, but no, in terms of wrestling this week, like, I want special shout out to AAA with that mass versus mass match. Like, fantastic, well done. And I don't think enough people give Jeremy Borash the credit that he deserves on that. Everybody's like, oh yeah, no, it's Taker is the Booker of the Year, blah blah blah. I'm like, Borash probably did more than anything else on that match. Taker probably put the bigger parts together, but Borash is the reason that things pieced together the way they were supposed to. So I honestly feel that it's more Borash than it is Taker personally, but if it's the other way, that's fine too. But if you're going to give credit to Undertaker on that, make sure you give former head writer of TNA, Jeremy Borash, a little bit of credit himself. So, but yeah, let's see what Lio Rush does here, because last week the entire conglomeration was scared AF at Lio Rush. Technically, we have an already in the ring match here, folks. Technically, we have an already in the ring match.
When AEW World Champion MJF was attempting to take out Rouge after the bell. And he still...
It's the rain? Maybe. And literally, the conglomeration will not move. Rush turns around, they just stop. And they're all like, no, we're getting the hell out of here. Mark, good luck to you. You're on your own here. You know what? It doesn't matter what you make of him. Does he get over? Do people come and see him? Do people actually notice him? Briscoe's like, what the hell is this? What kind of chicken feed did you eat? Okay. And Leo's wearing his crew gear. Don't miss that up here. Like, that's the interesting part about, like, it is an alter ego. It is funnier than hell watching these guys work, though. Like, honestly, Leo is probably the Mark Briscoe is the one guy that would freak out Lio Rush more than anything else. Oh my God, they're chatting with each other. Bang, 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 bang. Now you just need Mick Foley to come out in the middle of this. Bang, bang. Honestly, that Mark Briscoe, Mick Foley moment when they get together finally, I almost feel if you're going to do something like that, do a Casino Gauntlet it all in. And let Foley get his introduction in that match. Even if he's not going to wrestle full time, he can wrestle that. Like, hell, Nigel McGuinness is doing that now, right? Like, to get that pop in Wembley that Foley will. But just that introduction, that interaction between Mark Briscoe and Mick Foley. Like, do you know how insane that crowd would get with that? As we head into picture-in-picture once again. But yeah, that would be my personal... If you're starting to add up a wish list here of stuff I'd like to see at Double or Nothing, that would be one of them. Hey, you borrow the sign, you shake the hand as you return it. Shout out to AEW for a positive reaction from the fans. If you guys didn't hear, there was a rather interesting incident at a Baltimore Orioles game this past Sunday. They were playing the Toronto Blue Jays. And during a pitching change, one of the outfielders, Jesus Sanchez, for the Blue Jays, was going to play catch with a 13-year-old in the stands. So the 13-year-old's all excited, grabs the ball. Sanchez turns around, gets beamed in the back of the head, and ends up getting tossed. So Sanchez is like, no, it was on me. Like, these guys shouldn't have been thrown out. This was my fault. I wasn't watching properly. I made the offer. And all of a sudden, we get... we're going to have to see if the Orioles can do right and maybe bring them back for another game or something to that effect to help out. But yeah, just little interesting incidences that, you know, indie wrestling fans, if you've gone to an indie wrestling show, you've always had those weird interactions with wrestlers happen on so many occasions. So personally, I think how do I put this properly? I think some of them can be very avoided, but some you just can't help. But as we're running through the rest of the card here, they might do jet speed at the top of the hour, and then do the essentially the Monet reveal at in the regular time slot that the women usually get the quarter after the first hour. But I would love to see it be somebody completely different from what they expect. I'm not counting on it, and honestly, it wouldn't be a bad thing to see Monet back, because we do have that built-in story already of the redemption arc. Just as long as Monet's willing to tell that story, because the fact that she's lost all her titles, she's lost all confidence. Can you believe that Leo Rush is getting TV time like this? Wow! Yeah, so we finally get a regular Dynamite and a regular Collision this week, which is pretty cool. So yeah, they're doing double tapings pretty much up until the pay-per-view now. The only difference is they're doing back-to-back days for a summer blockbuster next week, but the 17th they're doing a doubleheader, and the 24th they're doing a doubleheader. Oh my God, the chicken fight between the two of them. I could just imagine the Attitude Era podcast guys going for the grunt of the night. That's pretty much what this whole match is. I love that reverse monkey flip. It's basically a straight jacket Beal more than anything else. Oh God, what a lariat! Honestly, Leo is so small, there's no way you can't get out of that J Driller. Nice kick by Leo. Went for that stunner and they said nope. Yes, sir. Cutthroat driver. That might be the first time that I've seen somebody literally go like this in a regular match. But you still had Leo not kick out. Usually whenever they do this, that means, yeah, you're kicking out at that. You can also say that BPW is always ready, especially Matt Cardona. We don't have Matt Cardona signed. I do not have that kind of budget. I do not have that kind of budget to pay a guy like Matt Cardona. MJF, I want that title. Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Oh, shit. You really want to bring him up with MJF around? Really? That might not be the smartest of moves here. Damn. Yep. For many people, it was their therapy. Just a heads up for those on Twitch, we are going to be having an ad break right after this promo here.
with every bullshit sentence that came out of your mouth.
I remember that feud. That was the first time I think we legitimately thought there was a problem there.
Because I've never felt the hatred that you made me feel, Max. I've never hated a man like I hate you. And you know damn well what happened when I got my hands on you. I pinned your bloody ass 1, 2, 3 right in the middle of this ring.
Yep, he did. He won the feud between the two. That was right before his Happy Gilmore run.
But sure enough, Max, your ugly ass head popped back up, and all the rage came right back to the surface. But now, the only difference, Max, is you got something that I want. You got that AEW World
I wonder if they try it next week.
not like you. You bitch, whine, moan, and complain until you get your title shots. You throw a hissy fit until you get whatever opportunity you want. Well, let me tell you, Max, I'm a grinder. I don't complain. I come to work every day, do my job.
Just like these people in the crowd here.
I'm calling you out. I'm calling out your manhood. Max, I beat you. You say the best. You say you're the best. Prove it. Prove it, Max. See, you brought me to this place of darkness that I've never been.
This place of darkness.
Like I feel demons on me. Well, ain't that appropriate, devil? You call yourself the devil. Ain't that true? Well, Big Hebrew, read this right here. Says child of God. Max, devil, I don't know if you read the book, but you lose.
I love this.
Now quit being scared and give me a title shot, you moist ass bitch.
I love that promo. As long as you don't get like a repeated one over and over again. Now, cutscene. Don't let it continue. Just let this promo be it. Oh, they're stalling so they could do the wild card at the top of the hour. That makes a lot of sense. This is, you know what? It's a really weird way to set it up. But we all wanted to see the heel change for the most part. But it was like I said, it was a really weird build. It's not the worst build in the world, but it's like we sort of felt it was there, but they just wouldn't blow the top off of it, and it just randomly showed up during the world title match. Former traveling companions. Stall, stall, stall. So they're going to do it next week. Next Wednesday is Swerve and Brody's. So it's not like they don't have time to, we're going to have 3 weeks to set up the, 2 weeks to set up the final. And next week we get Sky Blue and Serene next Wednesday. Okay, here comes Tekla. So they are killing to the top of the hour. This makes sense. Wow. Yeah, that comes back to a promo here. All right, I like that. Okay. That's a tall ladder. Oh. Why would you spit on an LCD screen? Then why would you show it on TV if you want to apologize for it? You have a 10-second delay. So I'm guessing we're going to have somebody from Stardom be the opponent for... as we go to commercial break. But I like the fact that I like the fact that they're actually incorporating Stardom for once in this a little bit more seriously and playing that obvious storyline that they should be. Because as we're going through this, like having Tekla with the story behind her when it comes to Stardom, it feels like that match needs to happen more than anything else. As we're getting crazy commercials on here. So just a reminder, once again, if you are watching over on YouTube after we're done here tonight, over on Twitch, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef, we are going to be having Backbreaker Pro Wrestling, and it's going to be an absolute crazy night of action. Our main event is Ophelia Payne taking on Morgan Cross. The feud between Looks and Loggers and the Blue Shelf Battle Club has been intense. Right now, it is currently 2-1 in singles matches between the teams, with the Battle Club getting the victory, getting the one-up last week with Snow Penguin defeating Vivian Sinclair. Now, Morgan, who I think is undefeated, if my memory serves me right, in BPW, going to be taking on someone who I think only has one loss, and that's the Walker Pipe guy in Ophelia Payne. So, but our opening contest is going to be a doozy. All 4 members of the BPW World Title match next Wednesday are going to be in action in tag action, as the Pop Spot Monsters are going to be taking on the team of Hoju and Fanboy Brian. Now, Andre got his spot after beating Walker Pipe Guy last week. And right now, both teams are going to be working as friends, but come next week, it is a fatal four-way for that championship. So it's going to be interesting to see. There is a special... The winner of this match gets to pick the stipulation for it, so it's probably not going to be a standard regular four-way, but we'll talk about that as we get closer there. So make sure you guys stick around after Dynamite tonight. We're going to have a lot of action in the ring during Dynamite. We're also going to have a lot of action after. So, all right, where are we going from here? We're either doing a promo or we're getting...
Hey, young boy Billy. Hey, tonight we need you to lock in. Last time you wasn't at 100%. Last time you dropped you on the little necky dicks. What are you talking about? You're right. My bad. I know Mark Davis has been taking up space.
England, where the best wrestle.
That memory, those thoughts. Now's the time to discard them forever. Right now. He's not a movie monster. It's Mark Davis. You know him. You've wrestled him. He's got 2 arms, 2 legs. You can beat him. You're going to. That was a different guy. This is a different guy. This guy's never wrestled Mark Davis. This Will Ospreay. Indestructible in mind and spirit. What you're becoming. Don Callis is going to have to hire a truck driver to run you over with an 18-wheeler if he wants to be here tonight. I don't like the temperature around here lately. All these groups and alliances and gang warfare. I don't like it. You don't worry about that. You got one job tonight. Put his shoulders to the man, you break his arm, you stay on task. You beat Mark Davis. That's your job. Everything else, you let me worry about that. I'll take care of it.
Wow. This is turning into a pretty decent show here tonight. Hey, Mass Keaton, how you doing?
Don't blow smoke up anybody's ass.
We gotten,
You starting to see it. Let's go.
so far we had MJF defeat Roosh in a hell of a fun match for 20 minutes. And then Leo Rush and Mark Briscoe had a very fun match with each other. A little bit of a comedy spot there. And realistically, we've had 2 matches in an hour, and it still feels like we're just getting started. And now we're getting Andrade El Idolo in and already in the ring match. But no, I hope you're doing well here tonight, sir. No, we're having a blast. We're going to have BPW Evolution after we're done here tonight, so... But yeah, other than that, like, had a crazy day yesterday with the PlayStation the PlayStation Showcase, which I hesitate to... Oh. Hello. Well, at least we're going to get a pre-match little meet-up there. Yes, there's an Until Dawn 2 that's coming up. They basically turned a Mr. Beast challenge into a Until Dawn game, where he sent a whole bunch of failed streamers. You know, those reality streamers who try to make IRL content that just looks cringy. They put them all on an island, and just by the preview, it looks like the island's been taken over by something. So sounds interesting, definitely. Oh, here's your DM. So at least the match looks a little more clean. No, there's that. I'm looking forward to the Tomb Raider game. It's the story of Tomb Raider 1 in the style of the new set of Tomb Raiders, like the one we did for 2013. So, for me, I think that's going to be a day one purchase for me. Marvel Tokon looks a little fun. The art style for Carnage is nuts. So is the theory of tonight's show that everybody wants the world title? Because I believe the term we're going to use is duh. How you know? But yeah, and of course, I am all over that new God of War game. Like the second I was watching it, and the funny little reference to Final Fantasy VII Remake was pretty cool there off the beginning. A lot of people don't even notice it. Because literally, there was a little moment there when they had the cutscene that started off, and all of a sudden you get flash on the screen, X new game. When you're doing Final Fantasy VII Remake in their reveal, they had a continue. What was it? Continue remaster remake, and it led like three articles. You had to scroll down and hit X on remake. So yeah, that was actually a pretty cool spot there too. And speaking of cool spots, let's take a look at Don Callis' head. Oh, that's Emily J. Okay. So Callis bought Knight. Why would you? They're not going to give the women's match a lot of time, are they? Either that or we're running really late. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was... That looked a lot older for Emily J, but... I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. You know, looking mature is great. Okay, yeah, now I see here. Sorry about the internet going down there for a sec, folks. It's honestly an internet issue. It's not anything on my end. I've literally done everything I can. Don's pretty much got half the roster under his tutelage. So they're not going to put Don Callis on commentary now. Okay, I'm glad that they're doing this now at least so that we can get... It's an interesting little intersection here. Did you see the reaction of El Idolo when Knight got announced? It's almost like, yeah, no, we're not going to worry about. So Speedball slipped, gets back up on his feet just to get rammed down again. I find it interesting the new gear. Like, is that his New Japan gear or is it? And the fact that he's wearing dark gear, like he's wearing like very, very dark colors, not very flashy. I want to see if Kevin Knight doesn't hit any of his high flying moves as they go. I just kicked him in the nuts right there myself. Get a rematch later. Peacocking. I thought that's saying only WWE did 4 times a year. Is it just me or like they might actually follow through on this? The fact that they aren't going to let Knight hit any top rope maneuver or any of those high flying stuff like the springboards and that. I think he's over so far. Very nice drop kick. You cannot argue the physical abilities of a Kevin Knight. And I just want to give a shout out to both teams in the NBA Finals, the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks going on right now. Not the biggest fan of either team, but, you know, I can still feel great for either team. If San Antonio wins, well, Wemby gets his championship for the first time first time ever, and San Antonio gets one. I think it's 2013 was the last time they got one. And then, of course, if the Knicks get it, of course, the entire city's going to burn to the ground. And if they lose, the entire city's going to burn to the ground. But that happens either way here, so. So literally, the Jays bought a new pitcher for cash. There was a guy that Simeon Woods Richardson, who just got designated for assignment, got sent to the minors. He was going to either be released or sent to the minor leagues. The Jays picked him up for a little bit of cash. I really hope that was more than just $50. Because if it was just $50, then we're in a lot of trouble. But the Jays just need starter help right now as they're waiting for people to get back in the lineup. And then once everybody gets healthy, they're going to have a lot of options. Whether you can send Corbin down, you can send Woods Richardson down. Like right now, they're trying to use 2 bullpen games every 5. And it just is not working. Now with Dylan Cease going down to injury, like, I just don't know if this is going to be the Blue Jays' years because of that. Because with the just if you're not going to be able to consistently get these things going on, not going to be consistent getting that pitching together, and just these injuries, like the Jays' record's almost identical to what it was last year, but then they went on a heater. But there's no signs of that heater this year. That's the biggest problem. Speedball trying to go for that DDT, and nope. Knight just said nope. And of course, Callis is getting on his case again. I love that Doyle literally, all he does at ringside is just stand like this the whole time with his arms crossed. Oh, trying to go for... Oh, God. These guys are loading some bombs here. I love this. Well, there's the next evolution he hasn't seen yet. Oh, what a wheel kick. Even Callis is like, nope. That was a beautiful reverse kick there. Looking for that flying clothesline, all of a sudden, whack, down. Is Doyle going to get involved? Doyle's getting the Archer treatment now. Trying to act like he's all smart. You know, if you're smart, you watch your opponent. And there you go. There's another familiarity breeds contempt spot right there. When the betrayal comes out sizzling, that's an interesting sign right there. Forgive me, folks. Just had to take a quick sec here. They're not going to go to time limit, are they? All right, he hit his top rope move. We're all good there. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a crucifix bomb. Yeah, good luck blocking that, bud. I don't care if you got your hands up. Damn. Now what do we got? So we're probably looking at about 27 after the hour to finish that. All right, Knight. Oh, God. Speedball landed on his rear end there. Wow. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker like no other right there. Not going for the UFO? Knight had to work to get out of that one. That was pretty cool. I was going to say, that's how you get the flamingo. Oh, God. Good old Callus. The hell? Oh, shit. All right. I like that he's using a high-angle Uranagi at this point. He's not pulling out the UFO splash. So, all right. What do you guys say, Kevin? The fuck? Okay, now you got Andrade and how many members of that roster on that Don Callis family want?
Quite the week. Thought you guys did to Cope and Cage, and clearly you guys are still in a bit of a celebrating mood.
You're dang right, Renee. Because last week we took out Cope and Cage. And then we invented the new 5-second pose. And now we beat the tar out of the Bang Bang Gang. Bang, 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 guns! Down! So, what's not to celebrate? So we brought ourselves some 5-second brews and some 5-second kazoos. That's a kazoo? Yeah, it's a kazoo. Oh my gosh. You guys are so annoying. Who let the dogs out, huh?
Okay, here we go. I will take this.
What you did last week, it begs me to ask the question, what the dog doing? Okay, I know exactly what you guys are doing. You're the new guys, right? You're trying to make an impression. Well, kudos to you guys. You have, okay? We've noticed, but there's one issue that I see, and I think my brother sees too, is you guys clearly think that you're next in line for the AEW Tag Team titles, right? But that's where I beg to differ. I mean, I
Ooh.
those tag team titles going to Bullet Club's worst leader ever and his tag team partner standing right there, Team Hangman. Hey, no, it's okay.
Timu Hangman?
You want to fight it out? You want to see? Because I think we just beat you all at Stadium Stampede. Well, we consider ourselves the number one contender. So if you want to go down to the ring, we brought our gear. We can settle it tonight. Well, the number one contenders will wrestle when we feel like it. Is that right?
Aren't they EVPs? Oh no, they got rid of the EVP status. Okay, never mind. All right, let's just pop it in the ad break while we're on the break right now so we can get ready for the main event here. The pseudo main event with the women's wild card being announced. I got a feeling the entire internet's going to be pissed off when it's Monet. Granted, the internet's going to get pissed off whether they're breathing, walking, or otherwise. It's just like what you saw yesterday with, like we were talking earlier about the PlayStation State of Play. I literally make sure I'm not watching the chat when that happens because there's, between the Destiny 3 bitchers and the wokeness police, yeah, I am so glad that I didn't have to stick my nose into any of that. So we yeah, just waiting to see who's going to be that wild card spot. Like I think they're not hyping it up for the fact that either A, it's not going to be a surprise and it's going to be everything that we expect. It's going to be Monet and life's going to be all normal. Or they're not hyping it up and it's going to be an absolute, the internet's going to buzz forever on a shock. Hell, for all we know, it could be Emily J here coming up. She's already been in part 1 segments, so. But yeah, just makes me wonder what they're going to do with that. And then, of course, the main event tonight with Davis and Ospreay. You know that's going to be a barn burner. You know these guys wanted the main event spot. You're probably going to have chaos at ringside. And it almost makes me wonder if we get... we get all this chaos and all of a sudden Swerve sneaks through and costs Ospreay the match. And then Ospreay comes down and costs Swerve the match against Brody. And we end up getting Brody and Mark Davis for the winner going to Wembley. And we get possibly a Brody King MJF match going off that story about the 2-second pin. Like, there are ways to get around this. There's different stories that could come up. And we still could get...
MJF, congratulations. That was an incredible World Championship match against Rush. You retained the World Title, but after the match, Mark Briscoe makes his way out there. He now wants a shot at your World Title. What do you have to say?
Hey, Mrs. Zoyak, how you doing tonight?
Who doesn't want a shot at the best professional wrestler on God's green earth?
How much have you missed so far? Because there's been some stuff gone down. So we only got 2 matches left. I'll give you a quick rundown. MJF beats Rush in about 20 minutes in a very, very good match. Mark Briscoe beats Leo Rush in an entertaining match, more of a comedy match more than anything. Right now, currently, they are doing a promo with MJF talking about the challenge. We also had El Idolo come out for a wild cards right now. The El Idolo came out for an Already in the Ring match. And Kevin Knight has been introduced as the newest member of the Don Callis family.
What the hell was that?
Right after El Idolo claimed that he wanted a title shot against MJF. And then we just had Speedball and Kevin Knight. And thanks to the interference of Doyle and Callis, Kevin Knight almost killed Bailey with a it's gonna take a few weeks to get that digested and figure out what the hell's going on with that. But yeah, right now we have Alex Windsor coming down to the ring, and we're about to get the introduction of the Wildcard, which I think I expected to be in a Monet. And if it isn't Monet, it will... Yep, there it is. And the crowd goes wild. It's boss time. Yeah, you almost had to feel like this was the automatic pick. But she's got she's got Jamie Hayter hair. Well, I guess it's multicolor hair. It's British hair. Because you got a little bit of blue, you got a little bit of blonde, you got a little bit of red. Like I said, I think pretty much everybody felt that this would be... It feels like a new remix, yes. Because I do think that they're probably going to play her up as a face now instead of a heel. And it makes me wonder how they're going to... wonder how they're going to do it. People in your section thought it was Izzy Moreno. By the way, Nats is in the crowd tonight. So, Izzy would have been fun, but I don't think it makes sense. Right now, Izzy Moreno's main feud on the Indies right now is against Effie. Oh yeah, she's from Virginia, but it makes, I can understand. See, under your thinking there, Nats, that's why I brought up the name Mickie James. Because she's not officially with TNA anymore. I don't think. Like, I thought if you're going to go with a Virginia girl, that would be the one I would go with. I do love the new ring gear, too. It's a lot. Oh, so you were one of the dumb bitches she was talking with there. No, I can't wait to hear how the story fleshes out here in this case. And it could be either... And actually, if you think about it, and this goes back to the tournament here and how things are breaking down. If the cards come down properly... all three people, two of the three people that she faced, or no, actually it was all three because it was an eliminator, then a four-way. As she was going for the IWGP World's Women, during her New Japan run, like during Wrestle Kingdom. Sorry, I blanked for a second there. Along with the New Japan Strong Tournament, the three people she faced besides Willow Nightingale were Persephone, and Suri. So there is some history there between the ladies that Monet could potentially be facing in this tournament. And, of course, the history between Mercedes and Athena, that is well documented as well. Oh, and the other announcement that came out tonight in Tekla's promo is Julia Hart's going to be in a qualifying match for the survival of the fittest for the TBS Championship. So not a huge surprise, because Sky Blue is going to be taking on Suri next week on Dynamite for the fourth quarterfinal. Because we got this Saturday is going to be Azuki and Persephone on Collision, followed by next Wednesday they'll have the final quarter. Then I'd assume that the last two Dynamites they're going to do the semifinals. And Mercedes just killed Windsor. Another Meteora. There we go. Well, at least this wild card's going to last longer in the tournament than last year's wild card. If you guys don't remember, Josh Alexander was the wild card in the men's tournament. Had a hell of a match against Hangman Page, but unfortunately came up on the short end of the stick. And it would be interesting to see Windsor win this, but it's almost handwritten right now what the final's going to be, with the potential of having an Athena Mercedes rematch. And you can't tell me that they're going to have Athena win it with the fact that she still has the Ring of Honor World Title. I understand they were trying to do a little bit with Bandito, but yeah, no, this was pretty dang obvious. It's the most obvious pick in the world here, right? Like, but here's the question. Here's the question you bring up, and this is something I was bringing up, I think it was just before you got here. 97% of the time, you go with the most obvious picks. Now, actually, that Sky Blue, after that promo, might be a potential. Sky Blue versus Athena and Sky Blue getting the victory wouldn't be the worst feeling in the world, but I also think they want to have a little bit more international flavor, because I got a feeling Persephone's going to win on Saturday, because she is the one on the dual contract right now. While Hazuki might be the potential opponent for Tekla at Forbidden Door. Oh, yeah, if you missed it, Zodiac, as well, Tekla did a promo where she climbed up a 15-foot ladder and spit on the LCD board right where it said Stardom. So she basically said she's going to kill Stardom if anybody from Stardom shows up to Forbidden Door. So I'd almost guarantee we're getting somebody to show up at Forbidden Door. We could get Minoru Suzuki to take on Tekla. That would be an interesting fight. You try and call him a dumb bitch. He might rip your mouth out literally. You could still see here that Mercedes is still telling a story. I love how AEW doesn't forget story. Absolutely. Like, and the thing is, AEW fans don't forget stories. And that's why I love being here. The fact that we could bring these stories up. The fact that we can remember certain stuff going on. And people that aren't as familiar with wrestling and are just nervous about being in a group where you're going to get chastised for not knowing. We don't do that here. We were talking about that too, because we were talking about the PlayStation State of Play yesterday and just looking at the chat with some of the stuff that was going on there.
Alex Windsor, now the arms brings Mercedes down and clothesline in the corner.
That's why I say I appreciate you guys a lot.
Mercedes swinging a miss. Windsor does underneath. Misdirect by Alex Windsor. Remember the finals, both the men's and women's 2026 Owen Hart Foundation tournament goes down at Forbidden Door Sunday, June 28th.
It's going to be interesting to have this show in San Jose. Like, for those that aren't familiar, New Japan Pro Wrestling, when they run the West Coast, any of their bigger shows, they'll run at in San Jose at the Cow Palace. It is a very famous venue for wrestling on the West Coast. If you're not running LA, that the Cow Palace is usually right next to it. Monet versus Suzuki in the Owen Hart tournament would be a dream rematch. The New Japan Strong Evolved match was one of the best. There you go. See, this is what I love seeing when I come in here. And thank you for bringing that up. Like, I was thinking about the Persephone Mercedes match, but the Hazuki match, like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to see. Like, there are little stories to go around, and I'm sure that AEW is going to take the time to at least show a promo package of that match. And I bet you that's what Tony Khan saw. We going Three Amigos times 2? No. It almost looks like Mercedes went by herself on that one. But thank you for being here. I appreciate the comment. I am going to have to fix that text screen, though. Yeah, Persephone as Hazuki will be a fun match. I'd love to see Sky Blue get a bit of a push. That's basically a can't lose match. Whether it be Sky Blue or Suri winning. Because there is so much story behind Sky Blue being the original, and that everybody wants to and just that the little hints that Blue was given out there during that promo last week. So yeah, we're good. The one thing I am happy about with Mercedes here, we are back to 20-minute matches for the women, at least a little bit. Because, yeah, we got to be getting close here to wrapping this up, because we still got the main event here tonight. Which, yes, I do understand we're going to be going overtime for that. There's going to be like 1,500 members of Chaos out here. When you mess with the bull, you get the knees. Maestro. Lunchbox. That was nice. Did Rush get over? It was a very good match. There was a lot of comedy involved too. Like for a while there, we thought it was called the orgasm match because they were screaming at each other so well. The opening of the match, the conglomeration were out there to make this, and there's a tap out. So we knew that was coming. No, at the end of the MJF Roosh match, Roosh was about to hit, or MJF was about to hit Roosh with the world title. Briscoe came out, ended up getting a kick in the dick from MJF. MJF about to hit the title on Briscoe. Conglomeration come out. And as Conglomeration were about to leave, as soon as Leo's music came on, they literally all stood there like statues so that doing the Resident Evil thing, if you don't move, they don't see you. Or sorry, that would be The Last of Us when they don't make any sound. As you're dealing with those clickers. But yeah, in the ring there, they had a very decent match between both of them. They all got their stuff in. Like, it really did look like Roosh, despite wearing his crew gear, or sorry, Leo Rush, it does feel that Rush did have a shot to win there. I hope you guys got a chance to see the promo from Ty J. Oh, here you go. Yeah, and I love the fact that Ty Mello actually liked and reposted my comment about the video they had. During the chat last week, they asked why Ty J didn't try to get away from making covers rather than trying to go for the pin all the time or going for the submission. And I made it point blank. Winners look to win. And those two are winners. And they're going to prove it next week if they get their shot. It is time for the main event of the evening. Oh, what's Renee got?
Don Callis, this is huge news. The TNT champion Kevin Knight has joined the Don Callis.
Everybody's talking about the Don Callis family. I've recruited many top stars, but when you're as successful as we are, I'm like a magnet for the gold. It just comes to me, and that's what happened with the TNT champion Kevin Knight, who's going to reach new heights and become the greatest TNT champion of all time with the help of the Don Callis family. And in
Okay.
just minutes from now, Mark "By-God" Davis is going to go and break the Stack of Dimes chicken neck of Will Ospreay.
Stack of Dimes chicken neck.
Finish our business, go on and win the Owen. And the Don Callis family will march in lockstep into the main event of All in London, England. And that leaves us with just one piece of business to take care of. This man Okada, who is the greatest bell-to-bell wrestler I've ever seen, you got screwed, and we are not going to stand for it. Takeshita, you are nothing without this family. My international title doesn't belong in a backpack, and it won't be there for long.
So, isn't Fletcher supposed to be going after that title now? I thought Okada was going after the world title and Fletcher was going after the international title. And now Andrade wants to go after the world title. And Kevin Knight wants to go after the world title. And Charlie Day, where are you? That's all I can say about that. But as per tradition, as we're getting into our main event, give you a little bit of a rundown of what's coming up on the channel. We are, after we're done here tonight, make sure you stop by for BPW Evolution this week. Our main event is going to be Morgan Cross versus Ophelia Payne, as that feud is reaching a fever pitch right now, and two undefeateds in season 2 are going to be going head to head in a clash of titans. And in our opening contest, we are going to have a preview of next week's title match. Winner gets to pick a stipulation if they can actually agree to it. The Pop Spot Monsters are going to be taking on the team of Hoju and Fanboy Brian, which it's going to be tough because Fanboy Brian is the only good guy in that matchup. Is Hoju going to be able to coexist with Fanboy Brian in this, or is it going to be complete chaos? And Andre does have a bit of an ego, so is he going to be trying to shove AWS off to the side so that, or is he going to try to use AWS to take advantage of everything going on, try to wear him down for next week? But we're also going to have Game Time Will Jackson in action against one of the newest characters to 2K25, because it's basically...
What the hell is that?
The owner of 2K, basically the Ganache of WWE 2K. First name Strauss, can't remember his last name. We'll remember it when we get to it. But Will's going to try and take out the owner of 2K for all the crappy stuff that game has done to us in times here. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be here with Lego Batman. We just finished the prequel, or the prelude, the introduction. We finished that last week. We're going to try and get chapters 1 and 2 done tomorrow. I do believe there are 6 chapters in the game. And then possibly a stream on Friday. Depends what time I get home to watch the Summer Games Fest, because my lineup's starting to take real shape right now of what's going on. But of course, this Saturday, we're going to be back with AEW Collision as well as BPW Madness, featuring Charlie's Angels challenging the Retro Balls for the tag team titles, as well as Diamond taking on Fallen Valkyrie and trying to get that feud figured out. Are we getting this match next Saturday? Oh, never mind.
Jericho, where is Chris Jericho? All right, he's home. Still, because a psycho killer beat the hell out of him, and I will gladly do it again and again and again. Chris, you made your try.
Again and again and again.
Fans welcomed you back with open arms. You finally defeated Ricochet, and then reality struck. And what is that reality? While you were gone, Chris, Tommaso Ciampa arrived at AEW, and I quickly marked my territory, in what better way than to plant my flag in the ground, than to chop the head off the snake that is known as Jericho. But Chris, I am a patient man with a long list. So stay away, lick your wounds. But if you do return, I will be waiting. That is, unless of course I strike first. You stupid idiot.
Wow.
Tommaso Ciampa.
All right. I'll take that. Osprey ditching the robe and everything. I think these guys have been planning this match for years. Oh, it was the right call at that time based on what happened there. What happened after the match is complete bullshit. Because if his neck's that bad, how are you carrying him over the shoulder? Like, I assume that they're going to get Ospreay over on this, but could you imagine Mark Davis winning this? That would be a hell of a buzz. There's no Don Callis out here.
We saw what happened the last time these two former friends went to war, and Ospreay has battled to get back to this match, but now his sights are set on the finals of the Owen. His sights are set on Wembley Stadium and the World Title. Ahead of this match, I caught up with John Moxley, said, "This is not."
Oh, Dynamite's been a lot of fun. We had MJF retained over Roosh. Tried to attack him after the match. Mark Briscoe came out. Conglomeration came out. Leo Rush came out for a match with Mark Briscoe. Very fun match. We had Andrade El Idolo get an already in the ring match. Say he was going after the world title as well as Briscoe. Led to Kevin Knight being announced as the newest member of the Don Callis family.
What the hell is that?
Still leaving that in there for now. Led to a hell of a title match between Bailey and Knight with interference from Callis and Doyle to end it. Mercedes Moné came out as the wild card against Alex Windsor, got the victory in a very fun match. And now we're into our main event. So I hope that's pretty much a breakdown of everything that's gone on here. Nice little senton there. Like, Davis is taking full control of this match here, and it's... And honestly, I feel like AEW is just hitting their stride right now, and especially with the news about the pay-per-view coming down the same night as NXT just announced that they're going to be running Great American Bash at the same time as Forbidden Door as their first show on the CW app. Like, I shake my head. Like, watch whatever you want to watch. That's fine. It just... I just feel bad for the wrestlers over in NXT because, let's face it, outside of one match in AAA, AEW has been turned... AEW pay-per-views are the top of the heap of anything anybody wants to watch in wrestling right now. For the majority of people. I don't want to say everybody because everybody has their own tastes. But an AEW pay-per-view is like multi-levels above anything else that you see right now. And just like, you already had one show move their time to the afternoon to get away from it because they were smart. Credit to TNA for moving their Slammiversary show from the night to the afternoon. Do they have anything hot going on right now? There's a bit of a three-way for the women's championship. Kalani Jordan, Kendall Gray, and Lola Vice. The men's title, there's a ton of people getting involved. Martin Cruz and Evil are getting a number one contenders match next week. But Tony D'Angelo being the champion. There isn't much of a character flushed out, I find, in that. With Tony, to be honest. Non-mob boss Tony D does not move the needle for me at all. Yeah, that's exactly it. Pop-up Hurricanrana. Okay, Osprey. But yeah, in terms of NXT, like, I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of it. They are in the middle of transitioning a lot of new wrestlers coming in. So until any of those characters start getting flushed out, you're not going to see... Straight out of Moxley with that suplex. Yeah, main roster literally took anybody of substance. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it like Monroe, Jane. There goes your women's division right now of anybody really with a fleshed out character. Ricky Saints, I'm glad they're doing lots with him up there. Like, full credit to what they're doing with Obafemi, but Ricky Saints, like, he could have been floundering in the mid-card in NXT for all we... instead of doing what he's doing right now. Hey, PJC, I just asked something. You want a wild card title match on Saturday? Smell Beast hasn't claimed anything, so I got to put a title match together. I'm guessing you probably want one. Always over the book. There we go. All right. Well, we just booked a title match here on the Sidecast. I would have asked you, Zodiac, but unfortunately you're already disposed for the evening, as they would say. So, all right, so we got... So it's going to be PJC versus Mellow Beast for the Wildcard Championship on Saturdays. So, unfortunately, you're in the main event. So, and I think you want to focus on keeping your Premier Championship experience together. So, we'll time to avenge your tag partner. Yeah, and here's the thing, like, nobody's cashed it in yet. And I'm waiting to see how that goes. Because we got... Because with that Wildcard Championship, once you win it, you either have to defend it or you can cash it in. So... I literally don't know, folks. I don't know why it disconnects like that. I literally don't know. I'm sorry. I've tried almost everything I humanly can right now. I'm going to have to contact Telus and see what's going on. But yeah, as we're getting into our last commercial break, online here, I think we should. This is working out pretty much the way we'd expect. You know, Ospreay controlling early, Davis in the middle, sort of, you know, taking control of the action as the match goes on, and then just straight up getting the comeback here from oh, Jesus. So one good thing about Davis is he can literally ragtag anybody you really want in that promotion right now. And Ospreay feeling a bit of a stinger after that backdrop suplex there. Like, Ospreay's got to look inside him and say, look, I don't care about this pain. I need to win this. I would laugh to see. I guess I wouldn't laugh. I sort of mentioned it earlier. I'd love to see Brody King, Mark Davis, where you set up a Swerve versus Ospreay feud for Wembley. But the problem is, when that burst of adrenaline goes away, what happens? God damn it, Ospreay! Your chest is gonna look like rubber. The one good thing about this for Ospreay, if he or Davis, whichever one wins this, he literally does not have to wrestle for 3 weeks if he doesn't want to. Because the next match in the tournament's actually at Forbidden Door. Damn. I guess if you're not going to get the Oz cutter, you might as well go for the kick like that. So I'm just waiting for the final confirmation. Just to give you guys a heads up, we will be getting vertical streaming available over on Twitch. So the view you get on YouTube, you will be getting the same thing on Twitch. I am going to work on the chat, make it a little smaller and a little bit more readable. I just got to make small adjustments, so. Jesus! That's straight out of Hikaru Shida's playbook. Well, if you don't want the dragging, you eat the German. That sounds weird if you ask me, but... Yeah, this crowd's absolutely loving it. I'm loving it too. I hope you are as well. Oh, Straight out of the MJF playbook. There it is. Now it's hooked. And Davis just said, nope. Davis literally realized how, oh my God. Davis with a pop-up powerbomb in a whole different way. Or a pop-up pile driver out of nowhere. Like literally just threw him around like a rag doll. Davis couldn't lean his whole hand down. Oh, if he hits that, that's the same move that knocked him out. Counter, 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 counter. Well, that's one way to get him back in the ring. Now, to check things out, I think you can... There are some points if you haven't watched Dynamite off this... All right, that wasn't perfect, but... That wasn't perfect, but it worked. All right. Could you imagine there being a 10 count next week is the finals? This is where Stomp comes in. There it is. Oh my God. Wow. So that's what took Samoa Joe out. It's going to take more than that to fix Davis. By the way, AJ Styles did comment about how great it was, how well Ospreay pulled off that Styles Clash on Joe. Oh, here we go. Let the bullshit begin. Let the complete bullshit begin. Visible pin. And there we go. Oh my God, look at that pink on... Trent, you might want to be careful here. Oh, and here comes Archer. Here comes Claudio. Well, if you want to take out Archer, that's the guy to do it, right? Oh my God, I want this match in so many ways. Claudio and Cage. And the ref's just dead at ringside. He doesn't see any of this, right? Oh, there's Doyle. This is where Mock shows up, right? Do we get Mock's music or we just get Mock's? Oh no, it's Marina, even better. Yeah. Yeah, no. Doyle and Mox, that would be a fun match. I told you there's going to be some bullshittery here. And in the meantime, the referee's just outside the ring dead. No way. No way. You're going to knock the poor guy up. Is he going for Tiger Driver? Well, if you're going to get somebody to wreck him, Fletcher's the guy to do it. He brought the screwdriver. I hear something in the back. It's Takeshita! Oh, man. Does anybody want to say overbooked mess? This is literally an overbooked mess. Aubrey comes for being a hero. Wow, only 2. This is a pay-per-view. I wouldn't like that, but it's a Dynamite, so it's fun. That's fair. Oh my God, missed the blade? Oh my God, no way. This crowd is going bananas. Davis has got to be going nuts right now. Oh, wow. There you go. That is a match. It's an overbooked match. It's an overbooked mess, but I love every split second of it. So now it's either going to be Swerve or Brody. So I think they're pretty much walking into a rematch of Forbidden Door. The last time when Swerve was champion prior to Danielson winning. What a main event. Yeah, so I'm assuming we're going to get Doyle and Moxley next week as well for the Continental Championship or an Eliminator. I guess if they don't have to worry about an overrun because of a second show, like on a double taping, they're going to be a little more liberal on using this. I'm going to take a page out of Simon Miller's playbook. This is goofy wrestling for life in one of the most fun ways, period. Just overbooking mess, which just felt right because you knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. We just didn't know how far they were going to go, and they just went. And they didn't let it be so obvious as to what the finish was, and that's probably the best part about it. So, all in all, tonight, a little bit of a mid-card confusion inside the Don Callis family about who's actually going to be going after the world title. Plus a little bit of like that whole MJF to Mark Briscoe to Andrade to Kevin Knight. Like the Kevin Knight part wasn't discussed at all thereafter with Don Callis, but I'm sure we'll make sense of it as we go forward because, well, just like we mentioned earlier, AEW remembers a lot and they do know how to carry things over the way to go here. So, okay, the 2 out of 3 falls matches on the back burner. That was my favorite TV match ever. Hey, Nats, I don't blame you one bit. The way they finished that one off was absolutely freaking amazing. And the feedback I'm seeing quickly online is apropos for that. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up the Sidecast portion of the show. For those on Twitch, hang on. We're going to a commercial break. Walking out now. Hey, be thankful you don't have take care, Nats. Have yourself a great night. For those over on YouTube, hop over to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. We are going to have BPW Evolution in just a few minutes here, and we are going to have some humdinger matches on that card as well. I'm talking all over myself here. If you're going to make an impression, make one like Mercedes and get out there and get the job done right away, or be like that main event. So I just typed in chat. He's not in there this week. But anyway, YouTube, thank you for being here, and we will see you here next time on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel this Saturday. We'll see you then. Take care.